Alright guys, even I have to admit, even though I'm not a Kyle Busch fan because of the things he can do on and off the track, but I even have to admit it, that was a hell of a comeback. From the transmission issues to this, man, and that was all in the final stage, I believe. Oh man, we got a lot to talk about from the second Pocono race of the weekend. Hey guys, NASCAR Move for Day back again, and welcome back to another episode of NRR. In today's video, we're going to be reviewing the 2021 Explore the Pocono Mountains 350 from Pocono Raceway, the second race of the Pocono doubleheader. And this race, all I'm going to say is this race wasn't as good as yesterday's race. I mean, yesterday's race, almost through all day, you had so much competition, because it wasn't just Kyle Larson doing good. There was also some drivers who could beat him, like William Byron and Kyle Busch, and he had that thrilling finish at the end of yesterday. But this race, it was kind of a letdown and stuff. I mean, the fuel mileage at the end made it pretty exhilarating and stuff, but other than that, the racing was okay, I guess. I feel like the stage 3 and stage 1 were pretty decent, and stage 3 was actually pretty good. Stage 1 was decent. Stage 2 was kind of boring. It was kind of a snooze fest right there. But anyway, we're going to be reviewing our top 10. We're going to rate the race, look at the and talk about the race as a whole, all the things that happened going into the race and coming out of it, and also talk about this race as a whole. Well, I just said that. And we're going to be looking at drivers who had a good, bad race, and also look at the drivers in the playoff standings, because there's been another big shakeup. So let's go ahead and dive on into this video. Finishing in first was Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch with the miraculous comeback in this race. I mean, I don't know how they were able to do it with the transmission issues after stage 2 going into stage 3. I just could not believe it for Kyle Busch, because, you know, they were running comfortably in the lead in stage 2, and then later he got delayed on pit road from Alex Bowman, and then at the end of stage 2 he had a transmission issue, and it was just bad luck for them until they were able to make a comeback. Had a couple cautions come in their favor, and they were able to take the lead, I believe, with just one lap to go, and get the win. So great one for Kyle Busch and the 18 team. We'll see what they can do at Road America next week, since that's going to be a new track for some of the drivers. I mean, because some of these drivers, of course, they've ran in the Xfinity Series before, so they should know. So we'll see. But a great race for Kyle Busch and the 18 team, and like I said, we'll see what they can do next week. Finishing second was Kyle Larson. I was really shocked about Kyle Larson getting a second place finish. I mean, he's had terrible bad luck in this race. I mean, after the start of this race, I was just thinking, where's Kyle Larson? And I was saying, oh, he's like in 21st, 22nd. What's going on? And I found out he had some nose damage and stuff, so that was pretty bad for the 5 team. And after that, they were just trying to catch back up. They were catching up a bit, but just slowly and stuff. They weren't really coming up on top. They were just catching up to the leaders slowly and stuff. And so but Kyle Larson did make a comeback to finish second in the race, so that was, I'd say, an A-OK day for the 5 team. Killed their three race winning streak yesterday, with Alex Bowman taking the win and Larson cutting a tire, but able to get a second place finish, so it's a good step in the right direction. So we'll see what he can do at Road America, because like I said in my Sonoma video, Larson's a new challenger on the road courses. It's not always going to be Martrix Jr., Chase Elliott, maybe Denny Hamlin or Kyle Busch challenging on the road courses. Kyle Larson has added himself into the name. Like I said with the Daytona road course, completely new to him. He was running really decent until he wrecked on the final lap, I think, or in the final few laps. I think it was 3 laps to go. But still, decent race for Kyle Larson, the 5 team, and we'll just see what they can do next week. Finishing in third was Brad Keselowski. And if I think about it, Toyota wins, Chevy second, Ford third. Anyway, Brad Keselowski comes home with the 3rd place finish. He had to go pit with around, I'd have to say, 20 laps to go, somewhere around there. and so they had to pit, and there was just a huge gap and stuff. Like everyone was like very separated and stuff. So if he pit, then he could have a shot to make up some time, make some moves, and be able to get into a decent finish. And that's what he did. Because after he pit, he fell back to like 10th or 11th and was able to make his way up to get a third place finish. So a solid day for the two team. Back-to-back top 10 finishes. Actually, this is Keselowski's first top 5 finish in a good while. But yeah, back-to-back top 10 finishes for Brad Keselowski is a good step in the right direction after having a huge slump, or summer slump to say. So decent race for Brad Keselowski in the two team actually having something go in their way. And this is their first top 5 since the All-Star race. Alright, no, but for real, this is first top 5, like I said, since Kansas. So decent day for Keselowski and the two team. We'll see what they can do next week. Finishing fourth was Kevin Harvick. Fourth? Coincidence? I don't think so. But finishing in fourth was Kevin Harvick. Decent day for Kevin Harvick in the 4 team as well. Having something go right for them. Because I believe this is a back-to-back top 5 or top 10. No, back-to-back top 10. So 3 straight top 10 finishes for them. Great move for them. For Stewart-Haas Racing, they're moving in the right direction as well. And he made up a lot of time, because after, I believe it was the final restart, Bowman took the lead, and it was like exactly how he did in yesterday's race. But then Ross Chastain, Christopher Bell made contact with each other. Both had to go pit for tires after making contact and having damage on one another. Kevin Harvick just moved up and took second away, and he was catching up to Alex Bowman. He was putting the pressure on Bowman, and then Harvick pit earlier than Alex Bowman, and he was able to come out, and he was able to come back and get a top 5 finish. So that's also a great race for Kevin Harvick and the 4 team. We'll see what they can do next week at Road America. Let's see if their top 10 streak can continue. But yeah, good race for the 4 team. And rounding up the top 5 is my boy Bubba Wallace. Bubba Wallace finally did it with his new team, 2311 Racing. They finally got their first top 5 and technically top 10 of the season. Thank God. I'm so happy for them. They definitely deserve it coming into this race, because they had a really good race yesterday at Pocono. I don't think they got the finish that they deserve. They got a 14th place finish, so I guess that's okay. But they've had I'm not gonna count the Ally 400. They got 20. That was a bad race. But yeah, 2 straight top 15 finishes, you could say. Got 14th yesterday, get a 5th place today. Really good move for them. Their first top 5, like I said. And Trackhouse, I know that's all good and all, but if you look at Trackhouse, they have 1 top 5 and 2 and 3 top 10s. So but still, decent race for Bubba Wallace and the 23 team. They ran a solid race. Pocono is definitely a new track Bubba Wallace can run consistently on. So now when Bubba Wallace goes to Pocono next year, he won't have to think about 2018 in his rookie year in the summer, where he crashed really hard. But yeah, good race for Bubba Wallace and the 23 team. We'll see what they can do, and let's see if they can keep top 5 streak alive. This is the start of a streak now. They go 2 in a row? Or at least top 10s? Huh? Oh wait, Bubba Wallace, his record on road courses. Never mind. Buzzkill. Finishing 6th was Ryan Blaney. Ryan Blaney finished the position worse than yesterday, but still they ran a pretty smooth race. They did make a bit of a comeback, I would have to say. They did run into some trouble in this race. I believe it was when they had a penalty early in this race, and they were able to recover from it and get a top 10 finish. So good recovery for Ryan Blaney and the 12 team, and nothing else to say about it. They just made a good recovery. They're able to get a top 10 finish. So solid day for the 12 team, but we'll see what they can do next week on the 4th of July. Finishing 7th was Alex Bowman. Decent race for Alex Bowman, the 48 team. I didn't see them winning this race. I saw them probably getting a top 10, top 15, because earlier this race they were struggling. Bowman had a bit of a vibration. I guess they got it fixed because they were running in the top 10, top 15, and Bowman just had a fast car, and they were able to get a 7th place finish because they couldn't really, if they would have had more laps late in yesterday's race, and stuff. Kyle Larson, Kyle Busch, and William Byron could have beaten him easily, but I guess they didn't because Larson, it took him a while to get around Alex Bowman. But then Bowman, in today's race, he pitted up about like 3 laps behind Kevin Harvick and was still able to round up and get a top 10 finish. A solid day for them. And when I saw him back in the lead, I was thinking, oh man, could this be a repeat? But sadly it wasn't. But at least he got a top 10. So solid day for Bowman, the 48 team, and we'll see what they can do at Road America. Finishing in 8th was Ryan Preece. Guys, kudos to Ryan Preece. They had that incident with Chase Elliott at the beginning of the race yesterday that got him some early damage, and they didn't really have that much of a good finish. But today, they ran a good race. This is their second top 10 of the year, because 8th today, and they got 9th. Actually, no. No, actually, this is their third top 10 of the year. They got 6th at the Daytona 500 and 9th at the Daytona Road Course. So this is their third top 10 of the year and his second best finish of the year. So good race for Ryan Preece and the 37 team. Really proud of them. Good job to end it off like that. They really deserve to have a full-time ride or have like a full-time gig, but not enough sponsorship for them, not enough. I mean, not sponsorship, but not enough funding for the 37 car. So that really sucks. But coming off a bad year like 2020, but this year's been a really better improvement year that I've seen for Ryan Preece, and they do deserve a pretty competitive ride because you don't know what he could do. I mean, he did get 2 wins for JGR, right? Does that count? Whatever. But still, decent day for Ryan Preece and a 37 team. Finishing in 9th was Tyler Reddick. Good race for Tyler Reddick overall. They were pretty solid. They had a top 15, top 20 card, I have to say. I didn't expect them to get a top 10, but they did, I guess. So, decent race for the 8 team and stuff. This is their first top 10 since the Coca-Cola 600. And you know what's weird? At COTA, they got 9th. At the Coca-Cola 600, they got 9th. And today, they get 9th. So his last 3 top 10 finishes have all been 9th place finishes. That is spooky, but still a decent race for Reddick and the 8 team. They're still 15th in the standings. Their points, it's still reachable for anyone. It's still up for grabs. He's not completely safe. Austin Dillon, I'd have to say he's safer, but safer is what I'm saying. Safer because Dillon did not have a good race today, and he's lost a few points. So we'll see how the playoff standings shake up with these last 7 races, but still decent day for Reddick and the 8 team, and we'll see what they can do at Road America. And rounding up the top 10 and 10th was Joey Logano. Back-to-back top 10s for Joey Logano. Decent race. They weren't really that solid. They did better yesterday than they did today. They just have maybe a top 10, 15 car, I'd say. I don't know. There's nothing really to say about Joey Logano from this weekend. They just had a decent week, I guess, I have to say. Or a pretty good one, because they got back-to-back top 10 finishes. Actually, no, they're on a streak since Sonoma, because they got 4th at Sonoma, 10th at Nashville, 7th yesterday, 10th today. So, 4 straight top 10s for Joey Logano, the 22 team. We'll see if that can continue going into Road America for the 4th of July. And now let's rate this race. Like I said at the beginning, this race wasn't as good as yesterday. There's some long green flag runs, not a lot of passing because drivers were just stretching against each other. They were pulling away from each other, not a lot of passing and stuff, not a lot of excitement and stuff. So I have to give this race, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. I'll give it a 6 out of 10. It was a decent race. This felt like a classic Pocono race and stuff. Just not really a lot of excitement, but it was pretty fine and stuff. Actually, I'll give it a 6.5 out of 10. 6.5 out of 10. I'm not going to go that deep into Pocono, so I'll give it a 6.5 out of 10. Let me know what you guys would give it in the comment section below. Now to talk about this race as a whole. So coming into this race, you had Justin Haley coming in from the Xfinity race. Also, congratulations to Austin Cindric for getting the win. 4th win of the year for Austin Cindric and the 22 team. But Justin Haley had a hard crash into the inside wall, I believe, down Long Pond straightaway, and then knocked the wind out of him, so Justin Allgaier had to fill in for him. And later in this race, Anthony Alfredo wrecked at the beginning. Really sucks for them. Just did not have a great weekend. Just a terrible weekend for them. McDowell had a few laps that really surprised me because if you think about it, the 34 car won at Pocono back in 2016, and that's where Buescher got his first career win. And then the next year, Blaney got his first career win. So drivers can get their first career win at Pocono. But then I just saw Kyle Busch. He was on the move, and I was just questioning where was Kyle Larson. And then at the end of stage one, Byron was able to unlap himself, and I was just thinking, if Byron wins this race, that could be because of that. But Truex won stage one. Kyle Larson, like I said, took some nose damage. Kyle Busch was running comfortably in the lead in stage two, and then he got delayed on pit road because of Alex Bowman coming into his pits, and then Kyle Busch had that transmission issue, and then William Byron won stage two. So decent for William Byron, the 24 team, and also I just want to say Byron's Exalta electrolyte scheme, it actually looked pretty cool. I don't know why people keep hating on it. It's actually a cool looking paint scheme and stuff. But next up, Eric Jones, he had a tire go down. Caution came out for the debris into his tire, and that happened because he ran into the back of Cole Custer. And then Bowman, like I said, back in the lead. I was thinking flashbacks, and then Chastain and Bell made contact. Chastain had a flat tire, and Bell nearly wrecked, and they were just going at it. I was thinking Chastain was just being really aggressive because he just cost himself a good finish. So Chastain, if he wants to know why he didn't have a good finish, it was because he was just being too aggressive. I really like Chastain, guys, but constructive criticism, you need to chill out because you are not even in the top 20 anymore. He was in the top 20 coming into this weekend, but now coming out of this weekend, he is outside the top 20. But now moving on, like I said, Blaney had that penalty recovery. Elliott had a flat tire, and he also had some nose damage. And Elliott cost himself the restart lead and stuff when he faked on pit road and stuff because he didn't maintain speed. And then Chase Elliott was back on pit road because his right front fender was cutting his tire. So bad luck for them. Stenhouse Jr. had a cylinder go down. Then the fuel mileage race started, and then later Keselowski pit because he needed to go and stuff because he was running out of fuel. William Byron pitted, he was out of fuel. Hamlin pitted, he was out of fuel. Kyle Busch took the win, just what a comeback. He killed the Hendrick streak of 6 wins, so the Hendrick streak is over. Can it start up again? We'll see. But that was his second win of 2021, his 4th win at Pocono, and Larson comes back to get second. And like I said, this race wasn't as entertaining as yesterday, and just Bubba Wallace, really proud of him. First top 5 and top 10 for 2311 Racing. So that was the race as a whole. Now, let's look at the drivers who had a good and bad race. So in my opinion, I don't have any drivers who had a good day. Most of them finished in the top 10, so we're going to be doing drivers who had bad days. So Chase Elliott, like I said, finished 27th, had that issue. Right front fender was cutting his tires and stuff, had to go to pit road twice and stuff. And I think that also happened because he made contact with Christopher Bell and stuff. So bad day for them. Cole Custer had damage. Actually got taken out by Brad Keselowski early in yesterday's race, and had damage from who's it, Eric Jones and stuff, so he was able to get a 24th place finish, which is not good. Denny Hamlin, even though he finished 14th, still ran out of gas, so really sucks for them. Christopher Bell made contact with Ross Chastain, damage one another and stuff. Bell nearly spun out, but he saved it and stuff, so add that to the list of Christopher Bell saves, because I thought that was going to be a caution. But Bell was able to save it, and he still had to go down pit road, got a 32nd place finish, so not a good race for them either. And then next up, Anthony Alfredo, like I said, cut a tire early in this race, I believe on lap 2, so bad weekend for him as well. So now let's move on to the second part of drivers. Like I said with Ross Chastain, just being way too aggressive, cost himself a good finish, and was able to get his 26th place finish. So Chastain, I'm sorry, but you brought that up on yourself, buddy, but I want you to do good, but you're not showing it to me. Next up, Kurt Busch in the one car ran out of gas and got a 20th place finish. So even though they were doing pretty good yesterday, 20th is terrible, and Chris Buescher finished better than him, 19th. So I think Kurt Busch is still ahead of him, but it's by like a few points and stuff. So we'll look at the playoff standings after this. Next up, Eric Jones, like I said, got into the back of Cole Custer. His right front tire went down, debris, caution came out, finished 31st. DNF for Ricky Stenhouse Jr. cylinder going down, really bad for them. Got a 38th place finish, dead last. That's JTG for 2020. And finally, I just remembered and forgot, but this is the driver who I think had the best day. Justin Allgaier in the 77. I forgot to add him to the good list, but he actually had a good day because technically Justin Haley in his past races with Spire he hasn't really done that well. Because, you know, Haley, his previous finishes were like 27th yesterday, 35th at the Ally 400 and stuff, and so on, with like top 30 and mediocre finishes. But Justin Allgaier puts on, I believe, a good finish for them because Justin Haley, his last good finish was 24th at Phoenix. And Allgaier got a 25th, so top 25. Good job for Justin Allgaier. I'd say that's a job well done filling in for Justin Haley. So that was the one driver who I thought had a good day, while the other 9 drivers did not have such a good day. And another driver I forgot to bring up who had a bad day was William Byron, because he ran out of gas with 3 or 2 laps to go in this race, so really sucked for them. They did get a 12th place finish, which was pretty solid, but still not what they wanted coming into this race because they had a really good car. And now to the playoff standings, you have Kyle Larson with 4 wins, Truex and Johnson Bowman with 3 wins. Kyle Busch, the only one with 2 wins. Then from Logano, Blaney, Byron, Elliott, Keselowski, Bell, and Michael McDowell, they all have 1 win. And sitting in 12th in the standings, Denny Hamlin's 334 points above, and 334, that's the same amount of laps at Texas. Kevin Harvick in 13th, 158 points above. Austin Dillon 14th, 91 points above, so you can tell that he's lost some points. Reddick 15 points in 15th, 48 points above, so he's definitely lost some points. And Kurt Busch is above the cut line from a 4-point gap to a 3-point gap. So you know that 20th place finish when he ran out of gas is gonna hurt him significantly. So now he has lost 1 spot, and below the cut line you have Chris Buescher, who gained 1 spot, or gained 1 point in this race, technically 17th in the playoff standings. You have Daniel Suarez minus 48 in 18th, so that spot for Tyler Reddick is still up for grabs. And then down here, Stenhouse 19th, 54 points below. And then Bubba Wallace also 54 points below. Still 19th and 20th are tied. So Bubba Wallace is back in the mix. And if we learn anything from yesterday, guys, it ain't over till it's over. 7 races left in the regular season. It's not over. So we'll see, because right now it's 15th and 16th, like I said yesterday, are up for grabs for these drivers in 17th through 20th. So that's about it right there. So guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I'll have the halfway point review for the Cup Series up on July 1st on Thursday. I was gonna do it after race 18 to make it like a halfway point review, since it's technically halfway through the season, but I could not because of the doubleheader stuff, and that'd be too many videos. I didn't want to get all worn out and stuff, so we'll just have that up after race 19. It's still technically around halfway. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I cannot wait for Road America, and happy 4th of July, or early 4th of July to all of you, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.